morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you are in the world. My name is Andrew Glaser, and today I would like to teach you how to find the dimensions of a box. Fascinating. So here's the problem. It says the length, the width, and the height of a box are going to be consecutive whole numbers. And it also tells us the volume of the box is 120 cubic inches. How do we find then the length, width, and height? How do we find the height? How do we find the length, width, and height? Sorry, I'm just learning how to speak. So we know the length of the box is here generally. This is the width, and that's going to be the height. So what they're saying is that they're going to be consecutive whole numbers. In other words, maybe this will be 13, 14, 15. Maybe this will be 17, 19, and 18. I have no idea, right? But the pattern would be this, that whatever you call the length, okay, call it x for now, then the width could be x plus 1, right? Because if this is 17, maybe that's 18. And the height then might be x plus 2, right? Because if this is 17, that's 18, and that's 19, okay? Or, some other combination. Now, I have all of the dimensions labeled. I also know that the volume is going to be 120 cubic inches. So we can just write that down. 120 cubic inches. For my calculations, I'm going to just drop the units. Now what I need to do is figure out a relationship between the volume that's given and the length, width, and height of a box. Oh, right. Volume is going to be length times width times height. So we have a math equation now. We love math equations because we can solve them, right? So length is x, width is going to be x plus 1, and the height is going to be x plus 2. Now you might say, well, Andrew, how do you know the length is x and the width is going to be x plus 1 and the height is x plus 2? Couldn't it be length is going to be x plus 2 and width is going to be x plus 1 and the height's x? Well, it could be. I have no idea, right? But guess what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the problem doesn't tell us anything that the width is going to be 1 unit greater than the length, or the length is 1 unit greater than the width. So you're free to choose, okay? Now, this basically works out to be a math equation, all right? Now, you can, I remember, if you don't have a calculator to use on these types of problems, good luck, all right? Because it's going to get insanely difficult and long and tedious. So I'm going to solve this problem with the utility of a calculator. But what you might then want to, how does this thing work? Let me just see what this works out to be. So this would be x squared. This would be x squared plus then x. And then you have to take, this thing and multiply it by, oh man, I'm not even going to bother. Yeah. Okay. It'll definitely work out to be a cubic function and so on and so forth, but you really don't need to, I highly doubt you're going to do this without a calculator. So let's subtract then. So how would we do this then? What I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 120 from both sides. So I'm going to set this bad boy equal to 0 basically. So it's going to be x times x plus 1 times x plus 2 minus 120. Now, the reason why I set this equal to 0 is because when I plug this now into the calculator in the graphing utility, I now know that when this function crosses the x-axis, okay, these are going to give me then the x values that produce an overall value of 0 for the function. So watch. All I'm going to do is now just start typing in the function. So I have, you don't even need parentheses there technically. Just write x, then I'll just input it exactly how I have it. So parenthesis, x, close parenthesis, open parenthesis, x plus 1. Close it, and then open parenthesis, x plus 2, and close it. Okay, and then write minus, well, don't write, type it in. Minus then 120. Okay, hit graph. And here we go. All right, now you can zoom out a little. So it crosses the x-axis right here. It almost looks like 4, right? So we can zoom out a little bit. You can go hit zoom and hit number 3 to zoom out, and then just hit enter. And I'm gonna guess that there's no other value. All right, outside, you can keep zooming if you want. You can also use the table. All right, now let me zoom back in. You can also use the table and kind of see maybe what's happening with the function, right? Just kind of get an idea. It looks like it might be continuing on and on and on forever, right? It doesn't look like it's slowing down, all right? So I think we're probably pretty good, all right? So, yeah. So now what I'm going to do is let's go back to the graph. And I want to calculate then this 0 value. So you can use the calculator for this. Go second, trace. You're going to select then the 0, meaning number 2. Okay. Now what you have to do is move the cursor to the left bound of the intersection point. So you know this is roughly about 4. So just click this on over. Get close. You don't have to get crazy. All right, get close. Get somewhere like 3. 3, that's good. Hit enter. Then go to the right bound, meaning go to the right of the point. All right, so bring it, I don't know, 4.45, 4.5, whatever. That's fine. And now get close enough. You don't have to be exactly on it. Just get close. All right, there it is. It's close enough. Hit enter and look, boom. Calculator just solved it for you. All right, so what that means is that if you were to plug in 4 for x here, this whole side would go to 0. Okay, in other words, this is a solution for x. All right, that's a value of x that makes this equation true. So what we just found is that x should equal 4. Okay, now, if we did this properly, this is now going to be a value of 4, right? So let's say the length is going to be 4. The width then should be 4 plus 1, which is 5. And then the height should be 4 plus 2, which is 6. So does 4, so let's see, the length times the width times the height, does that equal my 120? Well, let's go back and check. 4 times 5 times 6, bada bing, bada boom. All right, so that's how you do it. Now, whether, again, the length is going to be 4, and the width is 5, or the length is 5, and the width is 4, I have absolutely no clue because it didn't give me enough guidance to make that determination. But all I know is that one of the values is 4, one is 5, and one is 6, and that's all there is to it. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If this helped you out at all, if you don't mind liking and subscribing, it helps us out tremendously. We also have thousands of problems out there, not only in mathematics here, but physics, chemistry as well. Solve solutions. Because guess what you're going to see on your tests? You're going to see questions. You gotta practice. You gotta actually solve problems. Okay? And what's more frustrating than doing a problem and not knowing how to solve it? We have figured out a solution for you. Check out our channel. Take care.